Hello there, YouTube. It's your Bobby3, back with another kicking graphic novel review. Today we are reviewing a DC comic that I've been wanting to read for quite a while, actually. Superman, Reign of Doomsday. I think it's mostly issues of Action Comics, but it's a pretty nice, contained little Superman story. Let me read you the back of the book really quick. It is Doomsday for Superman, or for Earth. Superman is finally back in action, but his return may be too late to save his greatest allies. Every hero who wears an S has been targeted, kidnapped by the most dangerous foe Superman has ever faced, the monster known as Doomsday. Now as Doomsday begins exhibiting new, even more dangerous powers, Superman, Steel, Superboy, and Supergirl must discover the shocking secret behind Doomsday's attacks. To end his reign, they'll have to face a powerful new enemy who will stop at nothing to destroy Doomsday, even if it means sacrificing the entire world. Paul Cornell from Stormwatch and Demon Knights concludes his acclaimed run on Action Comics and vaults Superman towards an all-new DC universe, along with all-star artists Kenneth Rocafort from Red Hood and the Outlaws, Pete Woods from Legion Lost, and Jesus Marino from Superman, Alex Jimenez, and many more. Featuring additional short stories by Jeff Johns, Paul, as in Dini, the Paul Dini, and Damon Lindelof, as well as many others. So, this was a fun book. You know, it's nothing mind-blowing like Red Sun or All-Star, but it was very fun. My only complaint is that the more Doomsday is used, the less of a threat it feels like he is, if that makes any sense. But I still really liked this book. So it has a lot of fallout from like Superman the Black Ring and all this stuff, which I have, but I read this first. I'm stupid. I'm sorry. But I will get to that. But, like, pretty much anyone with an S on their chest, Steel, Supergirl, the Eradicator, Superboy, and Cyborg Superman are all abducted and put in this, like, weird dimensional prison. And there's a big reveal. So it's heavy spoilers for this whole thing, by the way, starting right now. There's a big reveal that Doomsday is in there kind of hunting them, but it's supposed to be like this big reveal that there's multiple Doomsdays, but it's pretty easy to guess. Like, I didn't know that going in, but it was easy for me to guess it. There are multiple Doomsdays, and each one has been, like, altered to a point where they've been designed to specifically target a specific kind of Kryptonian-esque character. But they aren't all Kryptonian, and Lex Luthor is like a god, and I think my favorite part of this is actually the Superman-Lex Luthor conflict. Lex Luthor has the powers of a god, and he's going to use them to torture Superman, and Superman's like, Lex, you always said that if it wasn't for me, you would use your power to help people. But here you are, right now. You have the power to help every single person in the universe, and you're not doing it. You're just trying to torture me. And Lex is like, you don't know what it's like to be human, blah, blah, blah. And Superman, like, reveals his secret identity to Lex Luthor and shows him all this stuff about his life, but Lex is still trying to torture him with all this stuff, and I love it. It was really good, actually. Superman specifically says to him, and I'm quoting here, "You think I don't feel like you do, Luthor. If I'm in your power forever, then you'll get to this eventually. Look into my mind, see what causes me the most pain. See what loss means to me," because Lex Luthor is accusing him of not even knowing what loss is, not knowing what pain is. Luthor says, "It'll be some cosmic spectacle, no doubt, the death of worlds?" But then, you know, when he pulls it up, it's just Superman and Ma Kent holding Pa Kent's dead body. And Lex Luthor says, "Wait, I know them. That's Mr. and Mrs. Kent, Clark Kent's parents. You're calling him Pa, but that means "You're Clark Kent." To which Superman responds, "You see, Lex, we're more similar than you think." And Lex, he like explodes on him. Oh my gosh. And he's so mad that he can't seem to break Superman's will. And then there's this like robot that's also Lois, but not Lois, just looks like Lois. It's very odd. I'm not going to tell you how that concludes, but it does conclude in Superman's favor, obviously. But I'm not going to tell you exactly how, because that was my favorite part of the book. That ending to a different storyline that I haven't even read was my favorite part, not the actual Doomsday story. Which probably doesn't bode super well for the Doomsday part, but it's still good. You know, the art is actually pretty incredible. The battle damage is drawn really well and everything. But there's all these different Doomsdays with all these different powers. One of them gets like lost and is kind of like infinitely falling in a way. It's pretty wild, but he like eventually a future version of Doomsday shows up, and he's like, Doomsdays, all of them, including me, are horrific, violent monsters. They all need to be destroyed, including me. I'm going to destroy all the other ones, and then I'm going to destroy myself. But he still has trouble, like, not giving into the rage. He, quote-unquote, kills Eradicator, but Eradicator was a machine in the first place. But then also, you know, no one dies, ever, in corporate comics. It's actually even hard to keep people dead in indie comics or in any media, any fictional media these days. Superman goes to help his friends fight all these Doomsdays, and of course helps Cyborg Superman as well. I actually really like the future kind of Doomsday. He's pretty cool. Like, he's trying to be like this anti-hero, but can't help giving in to these kind of Doomsday urges to destroy. It's very interesting. So you can only see things from a destructive perspective, which Superman tries to show him that there is another way, a way that's different, that doesn't involve destroying Earth. And Superman's like, look at you, you're trying to be better. That's proof that we shouldn't kill Doomsday, because you're a future version of him that's trying to be better. Proof that Doomsday can be redeemed, can be more than the mindless animal that just destroys any life he sees. And we see some truly magnificent feats. We get a lot of heroes in this. We get Alan Scott Green Lantern, who I think was going by Starheart at this point. At first I thought there was a continuity error, because it seemed like Batman was in two places at once, but then I realized, oh, one is Dick Grayson, one is Bruce Wayne. This is during that period. You can tell which one is Dick, because he has a black bat symbol, and Batman's is in the yellow circle, because he's got the Batman Incorporated suit, but it's not perfectly drawn like that. There's a lot of Justice Society kind of stuff. Hawk and Dove, Dr. Fate, Jesse Quick, all kinds of little cameos to help the supers fight the Doomsdays. And just some very interesting art. I really loved the art, I think, more than the story in this one. That being said, the ending of that Lex story was really good. And I think this was a cool way to end an Action Comics run. I really do. Even if it's not a run I've read all the way through. Plus it's got some cool little short stories that I really liked. You know, one about before Krypton's demise, which you kind of don't realize you're on Krypton at the beginning of the story, which is really cool. And then there's one about Superman and this godlike hippo alien having a conversation, and there's one where like Superman relinquishes his citizenship so that he can act more freely as a hero internationally and universally. And then one that's kind of scripted out with kind of like art, but it's not like finished. It's very interesting too. Very interesting story. Kind of reminded me of Superman the Animated Series, with like this guy in a tech suit that's going a little too far. Very cool cover gallery in the back. A great book. If you like Superman, Doomsday, or just comic books in general, especially DC comic books, I think you'll really enjoy this Reign of Doomsday story. I also recently reviewed the McFarlane Toys 2-pack with the Battle Damage Superman and Doomsday that's from this story, allegedly. And that is it. Thank you all very much for your support. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out the cool links in the description below, Facebook, Twitter, etc. And I'll see you all next time with another comic book review. Bye for now.